Steven, go ahead, please.
Coach, great to see you again, man.
Same here, man.
If I remember correctly, you were the first coach to ever offer Holton Ahlers, and I just am curious, how much have you kept up with him over the years, followed his career, and obviously his fifth year. Just your thoughts on his career to this point.
I had no doubt. I offered him as a ninth grader, and I remember going to the school and then having a chance to go through the coach at that time. But and so did Coach Doran. We both had the same deal. But I knew he'd be a great leader. He was already a great athlete in baseball and basketball as well as football. So now watching him develop and then being able to watch him on film. I know he and Devin went to the same quarterback school this summer. I have no doubt that he would be leading and be a great ambassador for the team and the university.
Jonas Pope.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Hey, Jones, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I know when you left ECU, obviously you wanted to leave on your own terms, but over time, has time kind of healed? How much that maybe kind of hurt when you were let go in 2015? Was there ever any resentment, or has that kind of like faded away over time?
Never any. You got to admit, disappointment, hurt. It was my alma mater, my family, Erlene Masters, my brother. Everybody knows the story. My brother graduated from there, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, my nieces. That part was tough. Made a lot of friends and family. So it was tough. I mean, I'm only human with that, and but no, never any negative words from my part. Things happen in this business. I've been in it a long time, but to say it didn't bother me, yes. But the pain or anything like that is nothing but wishing them well. I know Coach Houston extremely well. Known him a long time. Back to the LR days, James Madison days, and the staff. I have some of my guys on that staff as well. Donnie Kirkpatrick and Chip Weaver, those guys on my staff. I know most of the guys. So, it was a challenging time in my life, but that's what life is. You got to learn to deal with it, and then how you handle them is, I think, most important.
David Richmond from the Sports Objective.
Hey, Coach, good to see you again.
Same here, David.
Just want to talk to you. I know there's a lot of Pirate Nation that's trying to get used to you being in the red and white. But I wanted to ask you, as far as speaking of NC State with a top 15 program, can you talk about the Wolfpack and the expectations this year?
Well, we have an experienced team, but so does Mike. They have 16 returning starters, I think, last count, and a lot of transfer guys that came in. We have used that too. I guess that's the way of the world. So we both have experienced teams. I think our group, with the experience, what we try to do is use it in a positive way, and also present to our team, these are things that will hurt if we don't do them. So it's been a two-pronged deal. This is what we have to do to be successful, and if we do this, we will not be successful. So the experience helps that way. The expectations are great to have. I think I've been a part of teams where no expectation was there, and teams in my coaching career that had expectations. I like the latter. And I think that now what comes to that is knowing how to handle it. And these guys understand preparation is key. They understand daily focus is key. They understand that we got to, what we call our one more and stack days, getting ready for competition. So this group has done a great job from off season to summer to fall camp. And now we're right in the game week now. So I think that's what helps this team. They learn to keep things and handle the day. Don't look forward, don't look back, just handle the day. And that's like today, that's what we're doing now.
Thank you, Coach. I guess they have to put their big boy pants on, right, Coach? As you always say.
Everybody's got to put big boy pants on and big boy pads. It's a big boy day. It'll be a big boy game.
Patrick Johnson.
Hey, Coach Ruff.
Hey, Patrick.
I remember your first game coaching in Dowdy-Ficklin, the Hail Mary. It was the Sunday before Labor Day against Tulsa. That has to be something that stands out. There was the UNC game with all the points scored. So I imagine as a coach, those games stand out. Could you maybe speak to some of the other memories as a coach? And then is there a particular moment or two that stands out when you played inside of Dowdy-Ficklin?
Well, as a coach, a player, it was great. I was learning, I had a great teammates. Pat Dye, Hall of Fame coach, was our coach, and we had great team unity and success then. But as a coach, that first game you mentioned, Patrick, was big because it was my second stint as a head coach. I had served the interim at Texas Tech before then, but that was a big day. Another day was when Justin Hardy broke the record for receiving receptions. I thought that was great. And then the last day, anytime I had those seniors had to leave, and it was our last game in Dowdy-Ficklin, it was tough, but it was very memorable to me. It was very special to me. Each group, that final hug of leading them to the next stage in their life, like going from a lamb to a ram, the next part of them. So those are things that come to mind quick.
Next up, Eric Gullickson.
Hi, Coach.
Hey.
Just curious, you mentioned the familiarity. Mike Houston and Coach Doran kind of talked about familiarity and how, Coach uses you to be his, eyes and ears from a different perspective, I guess. How much does that familiarity play in as you guys are preparing for game week here?
Well, it comes with every opponent, every week, every practice, really. I'm always watching and observe everyone, coaches and players, and that helps. As far as what Coach Houston does or what Donnie does, everybody, they do a great job. The reason that they're going to do a great job there, and they have, and he's done a great job in the past, is they know how to develop. I think the first word that comes to mind is development. Development of players, development of systems, development of schemes and programs. So we know they'll be prepared. We know how, we've seen how Coach Houston works and operates and runs a program. So I have no doubt that he'll have the whole entire group prepared. And then DK and I have known each other all our life. DK, Donnie Kirkpatrick, from when I was a high school coach and he was an assistant at Appalachian State. That's many years ago. Shoot, older than you guys talking on this darn thing here. That's a long time ago. You little P-jabbers, y'all P-jabbers when I first met Donnie. Miss Annabelle's punching me in my rib right now. Don't use bad language. It's not a bad word. But so I've known Donnie a long time. He'll tell you the same thing, and I respect him as a man, as a coach, and great offensive coordinator. And then Trip Weaver was a young coach on our staff. I know he's doing a great job in the back end, as well as some other staff, Blake, defense coordinator, a lot of those guys. So I know Coach Houston has the group ready to go, and Coach Doran has the same philosophy of development and player-led programs. So I know Coach Doran and I spoke a lot about the respect they have for one another. That is legitimate and true.
Jonas, do you have another one?
Yeah, I do. Coach, I know since you've been at State, like pregame, you used to come out pretty early and you kind of take your seat and kind of observe. Now, going back to Greenville, you come out extra early and kind of taking it Dowdy-Ficklin from a different perspective now that you're on the visiting sideline to kind of take it all in and meet and greet people. I know that handshake and hug lines will be extra long when you come out the tunnel for the first time on next Saturday.
Yeah, I'm anxious, Jonas, to really find out. I don't know how it'll be exactly. The boys here are used to me coming out early. So if I'm not out early, the boys here, they'll wonder what's happening. So I got to make sure I'm in spot so they can see me and I can give them a hug and a word of encouragement here. I'm hoping the fans will be somewhat fan friendly. I know there'll be a little bit weight in there who they're pulling for the game, but I look for positiveness from the fans. They'll receive nothing but positiveness from me. I'm not sure about the hug before the game. There might be some, but I'm sure it'll be all in fun, all in spirit, and in the spirit of the game.
Brian Bailey.
Hey, Coach, following up on that, you got me unmuted.
You got music?
Got me? You got me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Just following up on that, when you put the uniform on, you played on that very turf that you're playing on. How do you control your emotions, even if you're out there early? I mean, you're walking around and you know what it's like on that side. Now you know what it's like on this side. I mean, that's got to be an emotional roller coaster right there.
Well, you know, it's the first time I was thinking about when Annabelle had set everything up for today. I know the question would be, could predict the question might be, how would it feel? And I went back over 43 years of coaching. I don't remember, well, I do remember a little, but as a player and a coach at one institution, and now as a coach, coaching against that has never happened before. So the emotion will be different. I know I have, like you said, BB played on that turf and also coached on that turf. So I'm sure there'll be some emotional feelings there. You know, I was 17 years old the first time I played on that thing. So that was many moons ago. And so I'm looking forward to that. And then I'll be able to tell you how it feels once I step on that. I've never had an opportunity to ever have that comparison and that mutual competition or feelings that I'll have next Saturday.
Hey,
And-
Brian, I'm
Wait.
sorry. I'm not seeing raise hand on my
Oh, that's
screen
okay.
here.
Al, you don't even have to raise your hand. You can ask anytime
Yeah.
you want.
Okay, well, I've got 3 questions, so I hope nobody's in a hurry, but Ruff, you made a tackle at state to end the game, win the game. And what are the details on that?
Well, I think Johnny Evans threw for about 5,000 yards in that game against us as a secondary. And I just haven't been in the right place at the right time. In our first game of the season. And it was, I was glad to be in the right spot and able to play, because I think Coach Dye, if I remember, even still got after us that next day on about giving up so many yards against Johnny Evans. And I see Johnny from time to time right now, so I know he brings that up a little bit. But it was very emotional being the first start ever in my career as a sophomore. And but it was but I also knew we had a lot of work to do after that game. But it was glad to have the chance to be a part of it.
What year was that, Ruff?
1977.
Okay. I know you came back to North Carolina because of your dad. I don't know how he's doing, but what can you tell us about that?
Well, I did. It was really right after when I was at Virginia, coaching at Virginia with Coach Mendenhall. My dad was diagnosed and came down an episode with Alzheimer's and dementia. And we began that action, what comes along with that then. Right after that, Lincoln got the job at Oklahoma, and Lincoln Riley and called, and I had turned it down 4 times because of what just was going on with my dad. And, you know, the family said, hey, you know, it's an opportunity to go help Lincoln and be a part and help him get off to a great start as a head coach. So I did that. And then about after the 3rd year, I think after that playoff game, we played LSU in the Peach Bowl, and we had a good team. After the bowl game, came home, and a lot of work was put on my brother. My brother was handling all of it by himself. And, you know, I felt like it as one of the sons, the oldest sons, that it was my time to come back and do my part and help and be there for him. We're going to see him tomorrow. Coach is giving us off on Saturday tomorrow as a staff and a team. So I'm going down to Lumberton to check in on him tomorrow. So he's hanging in there. He'll be fired up. And I'm looking forward to seeing him, Al.
Coach, what are your game day responsibilities?
One is support for the team, the coaches as well. They know I've been in a lot of battles, the coaches as well, the players, but support also in watching the game. My eyes are there to help Dave. So I watch the game as in such that manner, from all three sides of the football. And then whatever adjustments I see, Dave and I will talk at halftime, and then come back again in the same field, support, observation eyes mainly Al during the game. And so I'm used to doing that as a coordinator and head coach, and I watch anyway, observing. So that's my main duties.
Will you be on the sideline?
Yes, be on
Okay.
the sideline.
All right, thank you, Ruff.
Yes, sir.
And David Thompson.
All right. This is your third year here now with NC State and Coach Dorn. How has that relationship, grown and transformed in the last few years?
Man, Dave and I, and it's been documented that I met Dave when he was 23, 24 years old back in 98, 99, back in Southern Cal, and I was at Fresno State, and we've been close since then. And there's a love and a friendship and a mentorship, all those combined in one. I consider Dave and Sarah and the boys family. And my dad is family to Dave, and I consider his dad family to me, and he considers Erlene and my girls family. So that's a tight relationship. He is boss, so I know that pretty clearly. So I call him boss, not Dave. Well, sometimes Dave, most time boss. And but it's a great relationship. We have so much correlation between our families, our histories in coaching. And then with his dad and my dad having similar and going through similar experiences, it's a constant communication. It's a love that you really can't measure. I've known him, most of his entire adult life, and I know it's been documented as well. During some challenging times in my career, the first phone call I get and have gotten was from Dave. I mean, you can't make that up. And the next each challenging experience, the first call I get was from Dave. Again, you can't plan that. And it's a call of, are you good? Do you need anything? And of course we tell each other we love each other and all that, but yeah, so our relationship is now working together for 3 years. We've been opponents for years. We've been opponents on different sidelines, but even then we were friends and communicating and communicados. But the last 3 years have been special.
And Jonas, go ahead.
Coach, I'm just curious, because you spent so much time in Greenville as a player and as a coach, is there a certain place that you miss about this in the town that you look forward to maybe sneaking off to next weekend, or maybe even just driving by and seeing it? It's going to spark up some good memories.
There's some good barbecue places up, man. I'm getting a sandwich or something over there. No, I'll be put at the hotel, and there's also a good seafood place down by my boat, Little Washington. I might sneak off down there, and me and Tam might have a little time out together. But no, it'll be strictly business and hotel only with the team and team times and team functions. But there's some good sandwich spots I could divvy by.
And last question, Brett Kennedy, go ahead.
Coach, just being on the other side of things now, going into Dowdy-Ficklin, now preparing for the crowd noise when you had the crowd noise on your side for all those years. What's it like being on the other side now, trying to prepare for those Rowdy Pirate fans, which I know you know all too well are tough to plan for?
So you saying they're not going to be pulling for me on Saturday? Is that what I'm hearing? You think they're all going to be pulling? Yeah, well, I know exactly what that's one of the strong parts and very memorable parts about coaching. I was asked a question earlier about memory. But I know they'll be excited and have a lot of energy and ready to go. And I know this one time they won't be pulling for their hometown or home former player to win. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to the competition. I know Coach Houston, I've already mentioned a bunch. Respect for all he does. I've known him so long, and our kids are preparing and trying to do the best we can to be ready to be prepared for a great battle and competition and on next Saturday. So I know the fans will be ready to go.
I think we're good. Coach Ruff, thank you very much. Media, thank everybody for calling in. If you guys need anything, just let us know from our end. Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Bye, Coach.